Hey, Legman. Oh, sorry. Hmm. So, if anybody has viewed the results of our poll, the results are inconclusive. So, because they are inconclusive, and the Sierra and the Quattro are really close together, I decided to have a showdown between both of them. So, uh, since either one of them could win, and one vote of difference between them right now is really insignificant. Um, well, we have another poll where you can vote between the Audi and the Ford. So one more go to get to really see what you want, and then we vote. In the meantime, since I didn't know that the result would be like it is now, I started development on on the front strut of the Audi, you know, just out of curiosity what would happen, and this happened. Okay, well, Leon, now you can vote. Vote in the new poll. The old poll, I don't know. I should close the old poll if I can. Probably I can't, but vote in the new poll. Doesn't matter. Here, once again, this is the new poll. Vote here. Okay. So let me walk you through. Um, Now I went through a few iterations of the strut, and it doesn't matter if we do the Sierra or the Audi, the strut will be similar to this. Okay, if we do the Sierra, if it won't have a drive, it will have more steering angle. Maybe we can make a drift car. I don't know. If we do the Sierra, I have there's a Texaco racing Sierra that I really like. It's black, but we can make it red or whatever. Audi, we'll see. But anyway, um, the strut will be similar in both the Sierra and the Audi. I decided to go with these instead of the pneumatic stuff, simply because I really like them. They are proper springs. They are Lego. They are not modified. You know. Uh, no, I have not ordered the black panels. Sorry. Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. The first votes are from you, and yeah, let's see. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Did you vote? Okay. No, you didn't. Did you vote in the right spot yet? I see no results. I am refreshing, but I see nothing. Maybe a little bit later. Who knows? Maybe it takes a while to refresh. Anyway, uh, our strut. Obviously, I should make this. Yeah, I should make this movable. Because let's see what happens when we actually articulate this. Come on. Every time the same story. We should maybe do it like this. Okay. And just hold on a second. this is just a simple mock-up of something, because I just wanted to see the geometry and stuff that is gonna be present. So don't take too much. Oh, of course, yeah. But you know me. That's what we always do. Yeah, okay. Now we get some action. Okay. Yeah, rally style. I don't know. So obviously something's off here. Yeah, we need to increase camber here to get some form of realistic result. You can clearly see that we have too much camber. So let's quickly increase the camber, or decrease the camber in this case. And then let's mount the wheel. Let me talk you through the reasoning behind my decisions here. Okay, what about now? Yeah, it's about right. I think it's about right. And I mean, the articulation. You remember when we did the episode on the front, on a front wheel drive car? Okay, so I complained about the poor steering angles, and that complaint is still kind of valid, but the steering angles here are kind of okay. If we do the Audi, it's gonna be okay. And keep in mind that we are going to use the same sort of the CV when we do the Chiron. So we're gonna use this. And of course here you could argue, yeah, but we would have to have the CV joint like further down, further inwards, where this is, which would be possible, of course. But well, actually no. In real cars, this is also quite removed. And if we, for example, take the lift arm, let's take the lift arm here. We attach it here because that's the beginning of our kingpin, and we bring it, so that it intersects with the lower ball joint. You will see that the steering knuckle, the steering knuckle, the CV joint is there about. I mean, if it was half a stud, that dreaded half stud, closer, yeah, that it would be perfect, but it's not. But that's all right, because the half shaft can move. It can pivot like this. It's all right. And the movement, so the steering angles are quite good, actually. And of course, I'm counting the steering angles where I can still turn the shaft without binding. That's what counts. The steering angle, I can put an extreme angle in, but then I cannot. I can hardly turn the shaft. That doesn't count. Okay. Oh my god, JSP vodkas, really? Okay, I mean, okay. So regardless if we do the Sierra or the Audi, our strut will be kind of similar. If we do the Sierra, we probably can lower this a little bit more because we don't care about this. So we have more flexibility. With the Audi, we can't. With the Audi, of course, we would have the steering. So the pickup for the steering here in front of the axle, and we would have like this connection. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, something like this. This would be the connection. Maybe we can bring this a little bit closer, I don't know. But the steering link, goes diagonally. It should go a little less diagonal like this, so we can bring it a little bit closer. And the action then is this. This is how it goes in the Audi, and of course the steering rack is on the firewall, as you can see. This is where the firewall is. So exactly where the strut tower is, this is the firewall on the Audi. In the Sierra, the steering rack would be here, so in front of the axle, but down below the engine. So this would not be present. We would try to minimize the strut tower, of course. In the Audi, we don't have to because the firewall, we don't care. And then we would have, as big of an engine bay as possible. Adrian, yeah, I mean both cars would need to have an Ackerman. So Ackerman, okay. Uh, when doing Ackerman, when the steering link is in front of the front axle, the pivot, so the ball joint of the steering has to be basically on the outside of the further out than the lower pivot. Okay, this isn't the case here. However, keep in mind that the important part is the kingpin. So it is, if you look at the steering link, it is on the outer side of the kingpin, and that's what counts. So we do get proper Ackerman because this joint is on the outer side of the kingpin axle, because this is the axle around which the strut is pivoting. So the same would have to happen in the Sierra, ish, of course, since we can always adjust Ackerman as well by angling the steering link. It can be angled slightly to the back, and of course, when adjusting the suspension itself, we would in a car with front wheel drive or all wheel drive, we would always have slight toe out, because when the wheels start turning, the driving of the wheels will turn the wheels inward, so it will negate the toe out. And you have to keep in mind this toe out and toe in when designing the Ackerman, because of course you want the inner wheel to turn more sharply than the outer wheel. So that's always something to keep in mind. And in a car with rear-wheel drive, theoretically, of course, you would have slight toe in, because when the car drives forward, the wheels are the undriven wheels, of course, are pushed, are pushed or pulled slightly outwards by the movement of the car forward. So, with stuff like this that we make, we have to keep this in mind. Yeah. Oh yeah, I appreciate Ford Sierras, absolutely. I always loved them, even when I was a kid and didn't know much about cars. I kind of appreciated Sierras. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this would be, this would be kind of our suspension. Like this, of course, it has a lot of bumps here, but we would, of course, make the lower wishbone the same length as the as the triangle of this. So probably one stud shorter, so 8 studs. This is 9 studs. We would make it 8 studs. If we build a Sierra, we would make this 6 studs, of course, not 8 studs. So we have to, or of course, if we do the Audi, we can do this 6 studs as well. I mean, I would prefer the longer ones. In the extreme case, we can also do this, which we actually should. We should do this bionicle. In the Audi, we should do this bionicle because we do have the room. We do have the room, and with bionicle we would more easily do this. Yeah, bionicle. In the Audi, we go bionicle with the steering links, so we can really play with the length. Like this, we can't. The Taunus is too similar to the Charger in construction. It has double wishbone in the front, live axle in the back. Um, you know, I want something different. And when we do the Sierra, I would probably do the 4-door version. I mean 4-door version. We can do the hatchback with 4 doors and hatch, or we can do a sedan with 4 doors. Just to do something different, not the same thing over and over. Of course, the chassis would be vastly different than the Charger because we have McPherson struts. Um, I of course have created a folder already. Um, Let me share it with you. I have created a folder on Dropbox with Sierra stuff. And let me state here, I I am impartial. I would love to do either the Sierra or the Audi, so I really don't care. Whatever you say, we are gonna build it. I love both cars, uh, but the Sierra was leading at the time, and I have created a folder. I have created a folder here with some Sierra pictures. It's from the internet, of course. One picture doesn't even work. Yeah, one picture is defective. Let's delete it. But yeah, just so you know what kind of car I want to build. Um, let's refresh the poll if there's some results visible for me. Okay, it looks like I have to vote to see the results. Jesus, what would I vote for? Man, I could vote for both, but yeah, let's vote like this. Okay, yeah, definitely. The Quattro is leading. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, realistic. If it's not realistic, I don't care. Never did. I always strive for realism, because everybody can do a simple double wishbone suspension with standard Lego pieces, and you know, say, yeah, my car has suspension. Yeah, great. So what? It's not interesting. It's boring. Uh, it's it's this that interests me. Of course, we have to do this a little bit different. Um, what? How can we do this different? Because I want to do this. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Maybe if we, depending on which caster angle we choose, we can even get lucky and don't have to use the turntable. We maybe find a combination where you know, um, where we can get this angle without without a turntable. But let me just check something. Uh, yeah, but maybe we shouldn't. You know, we shouldn't, because the when we turn the wheels, of course, the strut naturally wants to swing very slightly, you know, on top, left and right. So what we should do, actually, uh, we are going to do this right now, because I want to do it. We're gonna do this. We are going to make this more symmetrical, because you know, either I'm doing this because no matter which car we choose, we are gonna use the same basic strut. So whatever we do here is gonna apply to both. So it doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh yeah. This is gonna be good. One more. And also I have to take time to finish the charger. We are going to do a few things on the charger today. Just some details. Because I need to do the instructions. And why do I need to do the instructions? Because I decided that despite me saying that they will be free, I decided to basically charge a small amount for them, like, I don't know, maybe 10 euro, just so I can finance the bricks for the next car. Simple like that. I mean, I'm not shitting money, and I mean, there's a lot of Lego going in each car, and you know, I have to somehow justify everything. Okay, so what is this? Do we have proper camber? I don't know, but yeah, we have more caster now, which is fine. And you see, now this is able to turn. This is able to turn. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh yes. I mean, the McPherson is really nice and responsive, and I really hope. The only problem with us using this is that if we make the car too heavy, we have no way of adjusting this. That's the main problem. We have no way of adjusting the strength of this spring. If we would use this guy here, I can put in lots of springs here, you know, to make it as stiff or as soft as I want. But here, this is it. That's our limiting factor. We can do something different in the rear, because the Audi does have McPherson's in the rear, the Sierra doesn't. Sierra has a trailing, like similar to the E30. It has uh, angled trailing arms, but the Audi has basically double wishbones, wishbones at the bottom and struts at the top, like in the front. A little bit different, but similar story. Hey, Cyberdragon. Yeah, my Mustang is really, it's an old story. Um, well, I don't know. I would do the Sierra front, just rear-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive would make it just too complicated, way too complicated. I know exactly how the four-wheel drive on the Sierra is made, but it's too complicated. So this would be, I think, let's see, if we, yeah, we need to play with the camber a little bit, because I think the camber here is not good. Probably the top needs to go in by one stud in order for this to be right. Well, we can adjust this, because we have this. So basically, yeah, can do this like that. Okay, so is the camber now correct? I don't know. Have to build myself some aids in order to determine if the camber is neutral-ish. Trust me, the Sierra that I want to build is gonna be interesting enough without four-wheel drive. Okay. So yeah, it has just a tiny bit of camber, which is good. Nothing too major. Of camber, yeah, of camber, yeah. Nothing too major. I made this so I know exactly that this is square. And when looking at the wheel from below, it's fine. Yeah, it's just a smidge of camber, just enough. And of course, the camber changes when when the strut gets compressed. The camber increases, which is what we want. Of course, the camber increases because when you steer and the car leans into the corner. So when the car leans into the corner, then the tire is square to the road. I don't know if you can imagine it. So if the car leans into the corner, and the camber, the car gains camber, basically the wheel stays flat with the surface of the road. If this wouldn't happen, like in Lego double wishbone suspensions, where this is square, when the car leans into the corner, the tire loses grip. So you do not want that. That's why we have the combination of kingpin, caster, and everything. So one of the effects of all of this is that the tire, the contact patch of the tire, always stays as maximum with the road. So the grip, even though you corner, you know, the grip stays the same. Whereas with Lego, with the standard double wishbone suspension with Lego, when you corner, you actually what happens is that the tire lifts. The tire lifts off the ground, and only a small patch of the tire contacts the road, because there's no geometry, and you do not want that. Absolutely not. Even with caster, even with caster, you get a full contact patch when cornering. So yeah, definitely we want geometry. This is perfect. The spring here, thanks to the LP Power wheel hubs, the spring here just doesn't make contact with the wheel. I mean, it's a hair, the width of a hair, but that's all we need. There's no contact, and the spring is as close to the wheel as possible. So there's extremely there's hardly any flex here. And let me take the wheel off again. Hey Marco, and you can see I changed the whole setup from last time. Last time this was like turned 90 degrees and there was flex everywhere. Now there's no flex. This is mounted as close to the wheel hub as possible in order to, so when the wheel is compressed, the spring compresses instantly. There's no delay. Well, Marco, do me a favor. Do me a favor and vote. Here, vote. Since the Audi and Sierra are neck on neck on the old pole, do vote. Yeah, do vote. This is the final vote. Whatever happens here, I share the poll on Eurobricks as well, so we get a few more results. I mean, 15 votes is nothing, so we get like, I don't know, maybe half the votes that we got in the previous poll, and then we can say that this is a representative result. And whatever is decided, we're gonna build it, because I'm fine with either one. I love the Sierra and love the Audi Quattro, so one of them is gonna be built. Yeah, so that's that. And now we need to do a few things with the charger still, of course, because I mean, I would love to start building with the building instructions probably on the weekend, and we need to finish a few things. Of course, the building instructions are gonna be made with the car being multicolored. Still, I have not ordered any parts, sadly. But everybody who is able to do the charger, I think, is gonna be able to discern which parts need to be still black and Okay. I forgot. On which side did we put? Oh yeah, here. We put this on this side. So I need to reinsert the grill part. Oh, come on, really? Why is this so hard? There. This feels really nice. Yeah. It's pretty reliable. Come on, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Okay. So, what's missing? Dashboard, of course. For this, I'm gonna remove the roof so we can see better. Since we don't need the roof on the dashboard. Let's have a convertible again. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So actually, I mean, even though the roof is missing, it's not as wobbly as it was. It's a lot less wobbly than it was before we did all of the reinforcements. So it did good. We did good with the reinforcements in the car. Okay, what we want to do first. First, I would like to support the dashboard a little bit more. So yeah, so run just something down to the tunnel so that we eliminate a little bit of this, because I think then when you steer, this is actually very counterproductive. See, this creates a lot of, I wouldn't say friction, but delay. It creates delay in steering. Everything flexes a little bit, and I don't think much is needed. Maybe the solution is pretty simple. Of course, there's the half a stud issue that we have here. Or is there? No, it isn't. This is square. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just check. So, theoretically, we could even attach it here on the inside. Maybe. Maybe not. What about here? Here. It's like if there was an attachment point just here. We're gonna have to improvise something. Yeah, sorry about my head covering everything. Turn the car slightly. So what could we possibly do here? Yeah, that's a bad position because we cannot replicate it on the other side. Ideally, I would have this here on the inside. There is a possibility like this. Yes. Yes, okay. Okay. This is a possibility. But for this I need to take the engine out. Because of course I do. Engine out. And gearbox needs to go as well. And now let's see if my theory is correct. So what I would do, I would insert this here. And then first I need to find the pieces. There is one, there is two. And now I would do this. Okay, it needs to be 3 studs, right? I hate it if I cannot get things out. Okay. Okay. This is not bad. This is not bad. So we can omit this. And we can put in this bad boy. There. Like that. Let's replicate this on the other side. So again, this guy here. Keep in mind that we are probably going to replace these round ones with these ones, simply because we want to attach the top of the dashboard here, you know, somehow. Top of the dashboard. Not sure how yet. Maybe. Yeah, those are useless. So do I not have any bigger ones? What the? possible. Okay. Looks like I don't. Okay. Then I don't. Hey Sasha, I didn't disassemble the car. I have taken off the roof in order to gain access to the interior. Because now we are building the dashboard. And, you know, we have to do something to make it look kind of decent. And I want to first see if I can make it a little bit more structurally sound. There. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is a lot better. It's actually incredible. Let me just remove these. And now let's take a look at how much this actually moves around here. Quite a lot. And now I attach this again. Yeah, suddenly a lot better. The feeling, the feeling on the steering wheel is actually pretty good. Very solid, I must say. Very solid feeling. One does have the feeling of control. So that's good. Okay. Dashboard. For the dashboard, the charger originally has like I think 3 or 4 gauges side by side. Let's see if I can replicate these. Ideally, I would use white gauges, but I don't have them, of course. What do I have? I have Okay, we're gonna do it like this. So obviously I don't have 4 gauges for round one. We have to imagine that they are white. Ideally, they would be white, smooth, round plates, I guess. Plates modified or whatever they're called, with prints of instruments. And we are going to place them like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, something like that. Um, let's see, what can we make the dashboard out of? What's the width? What's the width here? Yeah, this would be appropriate. Yes, this would be appropriate. Of course. So we are going to make the dashboard out of studded bricks because they fit wonderfully here. Let me just check how we're gonna do this. Okay. Because obviously what I want to do is I want to I want to put the gauges on the studded brick and they would look something like this. No, imagine them being white. They would be like this, and then we put this over it, and it's almost like the real car. Almost. I think the dashboard is, yeah, it's too high. It's too high, of course. We're just piling up stuff, so we need to make it less high. We're not motorizing it unless we get huge amounts of money. We are not doing it, but you can motorize it yourself at any time. What if we turn this around? Yeah, this would be probably better. We can push it further inward. Like this, yeah. But where do we attach it to? Okay, so one point of attachment is here. The other one, I guess, is there. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. This is the nature of our building. We jump from one project to the next, just like that. One day in the future, when we are rich, then we can bother with motorizing it and stuff. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so imagine those two. Those two are the big clusters. And for the smaller ones, really? Oh, I thought I had more of these. Ah, there. Yeah. So imagine. Some Ben, what? Some Raid Shadow Legends. What is this? I don't even. Okay, so the dashboard. What the? Why is? Why are the the headlights not going up? What is the problem here? Okay. I don't know what the problem was. Okay. Seems fine. Hey, Method. Glad you could find the time to join us on this fine evening. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine for the dashboard. But yeah, no. That's way too high. Way too high. Huh? Okay. I I don't know. I have never heard of that game. Never seen a YouTuber do ads for it. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. You know, I wouldn't do it. I don't give a shit about the game. So okay, that's a dashboard I can live with. And now for something we are neglecting. No, this is I just made the dashboard, so that we have something in in the front of the steering wheel. Now we need the interior. What we're missing the whole time is the seat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I never heard of either the game or the meme. So yeah, I guess so. The seat is about, yeah, if we make it 7 studs wide, it's gonna be in the middle of the steering wheel. We need this function. Front and back we have solved. Basically, the only thing on the seat we need to solve is how to basically arrest it in place without it flapping about, and that's the really the hardest part. Yeah. Well, if you monetize it, it's gonna be shitty ads. I mean, my channel is monetized sometimes, I guess. I have no control over what YouTube puts, what kind of ads YouTube puts on it. So, you know, if you see some annoying ads, just skip them or install AdBlock. I don't care. Um, I can. The problem is that if I do, the dashboard gets one stud higher, and then you don't really have much of a window. That's the problem. That's what I want to avoid. If I put curved panels here on the dash, now suddenly, you know, the window gap decreases enormously. Like right now, it's fine. You just see the dash. I'll show you. Let me show you. You see, if now if I put curved panels now on it, we have just a slit here for the windscreen. Even this is maybe a little bit too much, but you know, I can live with that. Maybe we put a studded plates on top of this. Maybe. You know, we could perhaps do you know, something like this, let's say. But this makes the dashboard so huge. It's too big. Drink more water. That helps. Water helps. Yeah, so the interior, you know, interior is the most boring part of any build. Method, by the way, if you have not, please vote in the poll. Come on. Whoever hasn't voted in the poll, please do vote. Yeah, tiny carpet, yeah. No. Okay, this is fixed enough, yeah. Or convertible. Oh my god. You see how much? Yeah, that vote doesn't count. Vote again. That's a different poll. It contains only 2 options. I mean, the roof is not to be underestimated. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow Sierra will be on top. That was the case before. So let's see. These are the two options that we have. As I said before, either option is fine with me. We are gonna build one of them. Just the two finalists. So we're gonna build either the Quattro or the Sierra. I love both, so I will not have a bad time building either one of them. Well, then vote for it. Okay. So, seat. Maybe we should rethink the seat. What do we really need in the seat? So, I would like all three functions, but I'm not willing to insist on them. This function should be there. Front, back, I think it's optional. And to be perfectly honest with you, even the reclining is optional. I would just make this function. So just reclining the seat so that the passengers to the rear can, no rubber band. This needs to be in place. I don't want this to move, and then when I press this up, it needs to go forward. So the mechanism is already there. But then I need it to click back into its position. And of course, I would love the seat to be reclinable. I could perhaps, in order to have the function of the reclining seat, I could perhaps omit the function of the seat being able to slide forward and backwards. I would be fine with that, because to be honest, the sliding part limits our options for doing the reclining part pretty severely. And the seat mechanism that we develop here, we can also use in the next model. So let's create a system, just like we developed the gearbox, the suspension. Let's omit the limitations of the seat, and let's just focus on creating a system that allows us to adjust the position of two lift arms without them being able to flip forward and backwards. No method. Sorry. I know how it's done in real cars. I've googled images of reclining mechanisms. The problem is that all of them have mechanisms that are done to be as small as possible, and stuff that we don't have in Lego. No seatbelts. No seatbelts. We die like real men. Yeah, reclining. I mean, I can omit the sliding. I mean, the sliding. Really, we position them in appropriate position, and that's it. We don't have to slide them back and forth. That, I mean, it's not necessary. It's not like we are going to put Barbie and Ken into the car. Although maybe they would even fit. But I don't give a shit. I don't play with dolls. Um, okay. So let's first build a big mechanism with this feature, where we don't care about the size, we don't care about if it fits, we just want the function. So everything in the real mechanisms that I've seen, there's usually a toothed a surface with teeth, where another surface with teeth makes contact with it and blocks it. The tricky part is how to keep both in contact without them skipping. That's the main problem here. So we can have, I don't know, we can have, for example, this setup. You know, when we have this on a spring, a lever, we disengage this so this can turn. But the problem is that when we re-engage, we have to somehow prevent this from being pushed out. So let's create something. You know, at the moment we are not. I mean, I don't care about the size of this. I just want the function. So I'm gonna use oversized stuff that we are not gonna fit on the final seat. I just want to replicate the function first. And everything is going to be oversized. So, for example, okay, let's say that this is our seat. Okay, now I adjust it in a way that I can even move the lever, of course. Yeah, like that. Okay, so I adjust it, fix it in place. Now, when I try to recline, this stays in place. However, if I push the seat to the front, this disengages. Even if I press on this here, even if I press on this here, this is able to skip. Okay, and we do not want that. And keep in mind, I have a big lever here. Even if I push on this lever, this is able to skip. So I can make it attach when it goes backwards, but then, you know, it instantly goes forward, which sucks. So the every reclining seat in Lego I've seen has done it this way, in more or less the same fashion. But I don't want to make it like this. So in order not to make it like this, what are the options? Well, the options are, we have to stop this happening in both directions. So in order to do this, I am going to employ the help of our favorite parts, the 8-tooth gear. Bear with me here. No, this is a one-way clutch. We don't want a one-way clutch. We want something that locks it entirely. It does not have, it's not allowed to move. We do not want it to move at all. Under no circumstances. Okay, so this fails outright because we cannot do this. But we can do something else. And this is just a thought experiment that I'm doing here. So, what if and you will quickly see why I'm doing two of them. So, there's no seats in the Mustang. That's how I solved it. You cannot have a failed reclining mechanism if there's no seats. So, ideally, I would place these two in the center, so they would press on this either way, and then I would just remove them slightly, you know, or I would have something else blocking this, maybe just one of them that cannot turn. One of them that cannot turn. Okay, one of them that cannot turn, and there's only very slight. No, we don't want one-way clutches. I don't want movement in either direction. A one-way clutch allows movement in one direction, but not the other. I don't want movement in any direction. That's why I don't want a one-way clutch. Yeah, it would be one fixed gear, but the fixed gear needs to engage like this. In this fashion, the gear would be fixed, would not be allowed to move like this. The problem is that the gears that would be perfect for this, we have used them. Do you know where we have used them? We have used those gears in the hood hinges of the Charger. But the problem is that I don't have any more. I have just these, but these are not useful to us. Yeah, they're not useful. They are useless. Okay. What if? One, two. Just a second. Just a second. I am close to a breakthrough. Because I'm already thinking about making it small. You know. Yeah, the scale is a problem in any case. I mean, some of it will be visible no matter what we do. But I'm thinking if we did something like this. It would be 3, 1, 2, 3, and no, half a start. No, half a start. Half a start's gonna kill me. I mean, ideally, I would do something like that, like something like this. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need this. Oh god, this is so long. How could we make this shorter? Or technically, what I want to do. So let's say this is the seat base. Okay. Ivan is at the moment not building Lego. Sadly. Okay, we would support this somehow. Okay, theoretically, this would allow what we want. Theoretically, I mean, yes, this will skip, of course. I'm just exploring the theory. This is absolutely going to skip, simply because this is twisting everywhere. This is twisting. This has no grounds to stand on. But let's indulge ourselves. Okay. So we would have this, and come on, and another one. And oh, right, stupid me. And I don't need this shit at all. I just need a very small something here, just to let this slide on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so something like this. And this would be here. Now we have to fix this. Yeah. And I'm just doing an experiment right now. All of this is way too big, obviously. I just want to see the effect, what happens here. We are overdoing it for science. This can probably be done a lot simpler than what I'm doing right now. Of course. Okay, so for a Lego seat, this is fine. This is fine. I just need to finally adjust this in this direction. Yep. So what we would do, we should stretch this a little bit more into one direction. Not sure which. Yeah, there's no good attachment point. I've seen all of those animations. Trust me. Thing is that they have car seats have like they have teeth on the outer side of a curved surface, and with some mechanisms. Some mechanisms, have a special clutch. Hey Logan, a special clutch that we just cannot replicate here because the clutch alone would be, I mean, too big. Um, well, let's imagine. I mean, this is too big anyway. We need to make a smaller version of this in order to fit on the seat. But let's imagine. Yeah, let's imagine. I'm just pressing very lightly here, nothing special, and already this is fine. So this cannot. Of the only movement we have is the slack between the gears, but this is gonna be present no matter what we do. And no, you're not distracting. Doesn't matter. Now the reclining the adjustment isn't great, of course, because in the real car seat you have a lot more small teeth where you can adjust all of this much more finely. We have just there's a 20 tooth gear here, and we have 20 teeth of adjustment. That's not much, you know. A gray 3 long axle pin attached to a gear and then a gear that you spin to recline the seat. No, that's not nearly enough friction. Not nearly enough. And it's not interesting as a mechanism. Um, I mean, this mechanism is fine. We just need a finer adjustment. So this is 20 tooth. This is 24 tooth. So we can use this. This mechanism doesn't care about this gear. We can even use an 8-tooth gear here. Doesn't really matter. So if we use an 8-tooth gear here, we can use this guy here, and it doesn't change the size of the mechanism at all. Even if we keep this, it's still the same, only that now we have slightly more angles to choose from, and the slack is less. Imagine that. Probably the meshing of the gears is a little bit better. Well, there's not enough friction because we have friction pins in the mechanism to open the headlight blinds, and It's not enough friction, trust me. We can try to make it, of course. I mean, every time I see or hear something like this, sure, no problem. We can try it. We can try the mechanism, no problem. So let's say we have like this, and then we have another big gear. Of course, the problem is how to connect them. Even if we try them like this, you know, there's quite a lot of friction here, but I can easily turn this. Okay, so let's use this pin, and let's double down this. This now has a lot of friction, and I mean, it's useless because I cannot even turn. I have no way of turning. I can, okay, of course, I can have something here, but this is not enough friction. I mean, I can turn this easily as is, if I have now a seat here, the seat is gonna turn this no problem. You know, absolutely no problem. For example, does this even fit? Yeah, it fits. See, if we have a seat, easy peasy. You would need a lot of friction to do this, and that's not cool. We can have, of course, a setup like this, you know, to recline the seat. But the problem is that there's not enough friction. I mean, we would need so much more friction, and we would still be able to do this. This is not a good mechanism, and it's not interesting. I agree that I would prefer if we have something that we could just turn a knob and it would recline the seat. But the mechanism to do that is, in real life, in real cars, is pretty complicated. It's easy function, but not easy to do. Yeah, it would stay up on itself, but where's the point? I mean, yeah, I can make it fixed. I can have like a fixed angle, if that's if we go like this, because I still didn't want this mechanism, you know, to have a memory, the memory backrest, but I can just flip it forward. Why would I have this function? I can have, you know, let's stack them up. Let's stack them up. Let's have more of them. Let's have like 3 gears. That's one more than we had before. How much friction do we need before this becomes okayish? So we have now 3 pins for friction. And this is our simulated backrest. Yeah, like this. Now it's even hard to turn this. You see? They are already binding the fucking perfect 8-tooth gears. So useless. I mean, what did Lego think when they released the Osprey? That said, I mean, with those 8-tooth gears, man. Yeah, so this is just binding, and I still can turn this easily. This is just useless. If you put a fixed gear going by the sides instead of going up and down, it will lose this. What? I don't get it. I mean, this is still the preferred way of doing this, if you ask me. Of course, if I release this, it drops down. But we can always have, a spring here. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we can make this simple as humanly possible. Sure. Let's try this again. But I think this is way too soft. Way too soft. Even like this. This is just... I'm not happy with this. Yes, sure, it stays up. But so what? This is not satisfying. This is just a cop-out. Yeah, it would stay, but then what then? It doesn't stay. I mean, it's useless as a seat. It's completely useless as a seat. This would need a worm gear or something to make the same function, but this would be locked. I would like this to be completely locked, not not able to move, and then only able to move when I turn this. But right now it's... And if I put one more gear here, it's too tight. That's the issue. Yeah, and this of course is completely useless. I'm not worried about the slack. The thing here is that I can move all of this. You know, I can move all of this by hand with ease, even with the friction. This is, I don't have to apply a lot of force, and the seats collapse. I mean, that's useless. But I don't even know how to place a worm gear here, because with the worm gear, if we place a worm gear here somewhere, I don't know, like this, that's all nice and good, but what's it gonna drive in this position? It can drive, I don't know, something here, but then what's this gonna drive? It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we are debating this. I mean, it's interesting. We are having a debate about seat reclining mechanisms, which is interesting, I guess. Mm. For example, this combined with some friction that we mentioned before would not be bad. So if I use friction here, how the yeah, I would use friction here so that this does not collapse. You know? So now that I have friction here, when I remove this, this is not gonna collapse, and I can change the position. Yeah, so this gets hard locked. Doesn't need a lot of force here. Gets hard locked because it cannot push up and down, and it's not gonna push this guy forward. Ah, yes, of course. What I forgot. Now that I've done this, I have no connection between this, and of course, yeah, this happens. Yeah. Sorry. Ah. Basically, what we need to do is just make this smaller. Once we do it smaller, we're good. this is fine. Yeah. By sneezing, by sneezing, I'm already nowadays everything you do is just, yeah, you're positive. Absolutely. Um, Mask in front of the stream, yeah. It's really, yeah, Queen. It's really hard to come up with something this small, but that's the, that's the challenge. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It would not be interesting. Um, so now we have to combine this with this and make it smaller. So you can see how long the seat needs to be, how long our version here is. Um, so yeah, this needs to be a lot smaller. Basically, we need to make a sliding mechanism that is just 4 studs long. Mhm. And this needs to be as far on the side as possible. Lovely. What now at this hour? Isn't it? What? It's 10 o'clock in the evening, and now you're eating McDonald's. Okay, that's weird. I see the Sierra is gaining. It will be interesting to see the results tomorrow. Um, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we're gonna make with the Quattro if we do the Quattro. Um, hmm. Okay, we can make this slider extremely simple and extremely short by omitting this entirely and have just 2 rails like this here, or basically not have any of this, just have this is on the side of the seat, and we have a little beefier rail here, so like two of them, like we omit this in its entirety. We don't need this. Yeah, you're late again, but the stream is still going, so you're fine. Okay, we don't do it like this because we need come on, we need this. Okay, so this would be our slider now. Let's see how successful it is. So, okay, our sliding mechanism. So this is, both of these are on the outer edge of the seat. Okay, so we omit this. We omit this. And we have look at that. Doesn't move. Doesn't move and doesn't move this anywhere. So, does lock. Does lock. Very nice. Now we have to just have a mechanism that pushes this forward, which is not gonna be difficult. That's easy. Okay. What's the width here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we can have this here. Yep. Yes, of course. This guy needs to vanish. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, of course. There's, what am I missing? There's something I'm missing. Okay, so we want this to slide forward. Of course, this is the problem. This is the problem. this. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the ticket. Now we need a second rubber band. Come on. There. Okay. You see where this is going, right? Yep. We have solved this. We have solved. I mean, still need to make a decent seat base, but the reclining mechanism is solved. So you see, all of this is a little bit skewed, but you know, it cannot recline now. But of course, we have this lever that we have to pull forward. We have to make a mechanism that this is sliding forward. Then this is fixing the reclining. However, now we have the mechanism in the back. See, we depress this and we can slide this forward. And now so we have fixed the mechanism. Now all that remains is we have to package it. Of course, we need to make a seat base that incorporates the seat surface and a lever here that's gonna pull this a little bit forward, just a little bit, not much, and a seat base so that you know everything here can attach to. Because right now it's just flopping around. Maybe we can even redesign this a little bit, but the basic idea is here. Basic idea is solid. Yeah. And of course, we need to mount it into the car. There's the space issue of the tunnel that we have to keep in mind. So I think yeah. I mean, I'm gonna build this tomorrow off stream, of course. Now we have developed the major two things. If both work, we can think about making it slide forward and backward. But if not, I'm fine with just fixing it into position and that's it. I'll be fine with that. So our seat, if we loosen this, we can just put it into any position we want. And now we open this mechanism, we recline it forward, passengers can go to the back, and it snaps in where where it was left. I think that's pretty interesting. It adds another function to the car, which I think is pretty cool. Um, if I ever have problems with axle twisting in my engines, oh, definitely, definitely, there's twisting. That's why I have. Uh, that's why the crankshaft is always connected with at least one other axle, so that the crankshaft doesn't twist and distort the timing. Always, no matter which engine it is. For example, the small cylinder inline four has two shafts, uh, one on each side of the crank, just to make it super stiff because of the huge RPMs. And the V8, of course, there's room for just one, so we cannot have more there. Inline three also just one, but it all depends on the setups. You can, if you do two engines side by side, you know, they support each other. Okay, where did you send the photo? On which platform? Oh, on Instagram. Okay, on Instagram. He said it. He sent it on Instagram. Okay, let's see. That's actually pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. It's actually a very good setup. Very good. Hmm. Not sure exactly how we would implement it here, but it's definitely neater than what we have. I like it. Marco, I do like it. Um, this is definitely something that I will consider. Yeah, I got it. Um, yeah. So I am gonna try to do this. And I also like your idea with the seat base being a frame. That's also not too shabby. Yep. I mean, in on the top, in the bottom, we may not have the room for it, but the top part maybe. Thing is that this guy counts in as the into the 7 stud width that we want. So yeah, but this mechanism, yeah, this is pretty good. Well, it's a four-cylinder engine. That's the nature of a four-cylinder engine. All four-cylinder engines run rough, no matter which one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's typical. But at least he sent it, and now I get it, and I like it. You know, it's actually can be made more compact than this. So yeah, I think we're gonna implement that. Um, not in exactly the same way Marco did, because thing is, you see, um, the this axle here has both the selector mechanism for the memory seat and this on it. So this needs to be held stationary. Uh, this is the selector. Um, these two guys here on this side are the outer part of the seat, and I'm gonna have this guy slide inwards, not outwards. It cannot slide outwards because there's the tunnel here. But the principle is the same basically. It just requires one more lever or whatever you call it to reverse the action. So if you press in, this isn't pressed out, but it's basically pressed in. Yeah, but should be doable. Anyway, we have reached the end of today's stream. I am looking forward to see all of the votes, but I see the Audi is in the lead at the moment. When I post it on Eurobricks, this might change, but we'll see in the next stream, or even sooner, what the results will be. Either way, one of the cars is gonna be built. The LPs are one stroke. Well, Ralph, the crankshaft is actually a cross plane, not a flat plane. Normal four cylinders in cars have usually a flat plane crank. I have a cross plane crank, so it's a little bit more balanced, if you insist. And yes, the LP power, so the pneumatic engines are basically like steam engines. Every stroke is a power stroke. So it goes up, it's a power stroke. It goes down, it's a power stroke every time. So yeah, technically, I don't know. It's hard to compare to four-stroke engines. They do produce. I mean, pneumatic engines do produce, let's say, more power, because every stroke is a power stroke. But yeah. Anyway, I see you on Wednesday. At the moment, the Quattro. Here is the link one more time. What do you mean? Oh, it's well, it doesn't really matter, but I actually don't know. Would have to look at the pictures. It's different than the V8. I think it goes every 90 degrees for every cylinder. So yeah. Anyway, on Wednesday we're gonna have this baby build. If I manage to build it properly, I'm gonna build two of them, so we can have both of them in the car. And then we are going to make some. I mean, this week we need to make all of the small things in the charger that we can, and hopefully on Monday we can start building the new car. And in between, once the charger is done, I need to make the building instructions. I still need to buy some parts for it. Yeah, it's gonna be out of work. And as I said, I will probably charge a little bit of money for the building instructions for the charger, Not a lot. I mean, like maybe 10 euro. Just because I thought about it, uh, since all of this obviously costs a lot of money, and we need parts for the new car, and of course we need some money for the Bugatti project that we are probably gonna do next year. Uh, I mean, I need to finance this somehow, um, and the previous car is probably should finance the next car. You know, something like that would be my logic. So the building instructions for the car we just finished, the sales of it would finance the parts for the new car. That would be my idea. Um, I hope you're all okay with that. I mean, 10 euros. I think it is not a lot of money for building instructions. Um, and it would help a lot, of course. All the proceeds of all of this go directly into Lego, of course. Um, anyway, I see you on Wednesday. Vote in the poll. I will, of course, update you. I'm reachable on Eurobricks, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, everywhere. Everything I don't manage to answer here in the stream, I can answer on social media. No, I don't have a dyno for LPs. It could be something for patrons if I had any. But yeah, good that you remind me. I have a Patreon, as you can see on top. I do post pictures there that I do not post anywhere else. So if you want to see detailed stuff or stuff that I make sooner, do check out my Patreon. But yeah, of course, patrons would get instructions for free. I mean, they would simply get them, the download link. And yeah, I see you on Wednesday. Thanks for watching. And vote. Both in US elections, if you're from the US, and for our cars.